Hi everybody, Richard Tromans here again, Artificial Lawyer TV. Today we're doing another product walkthrough. This time we're looking at Goodfact, and to tell us a bit more about it is Tali Green. Hey Tali, first of all, could you tell us a bit about yourself and the product?
Sure. I'm a commercial litigation lawyer. I'm based out of Goodfact is based out of Toronto. I practiced in Toronto for a few years before launching this product. Goodfact was built to solve the chronology problem for litigators with complex, document-heavy practices who can't afford to miss a single fact. It's not AI first, which means that each fact in the chronology was generated programmatically, but it does have a layer of AI built on top of this chronology of facts created. One of Goodfact's most powerful features is that it parses conversation-based conversation-based documents into individual messages, whether that's emails or chats, and slots each message into the chronology. This was the problem I needed solved when I was practicing, and I had thousands of email threads that I was manually parsing out and putting every individual email into an Excel chronology, which was taking me an insane amount of time. So Goodfact works with a variety of different documents, including PDFs, medical records, financial records, and we are excited to tell the world about our newest AI feature that I'll be showing you today.
Fantastic. Thanks, Tali. Well, let me disappear and I'll come back at the end and let's get into the walkthrough. Please take it away.
Sure, absolutely. So today we're going to look at an example of an estates litigation practice, and I pick that type of file because it has a variety of different documents. So it'll have email threads, it'll have financial records, medical records, potentially relating to a capacity dispute. So that's why we picked that. So when we go right over to Goodfact, this is the first thing that you see when you upload your documents. So every single document that we have here, every single row is a fact that was generated by the documents that I uploaded. And some documents generate one fact and some generate multiple facts. So let's just quickly scroll through so that you can get an idea of what we have here. So first we have a bunch of medical records. And here we have now we get into email threads. So the email threads I will show you in more depth, but the idea here is that every document you upload generates one or more facts and gets slotted into the chronology. Let's take a look at PDFs. So I'm just going to jump over to the beginning over here. So PDFs are slotted into the chronology using a little bit of AI to identify the correct name and date of every document. So you can also view each document larger like this. So the unique thing about Goodfact is that it actually shows you the original document itself within the chronology. And as I'll show you in a couple of minutes, it then gives you an AI summary of the documents. I'm intentionally not showing the AI first because I want you to see sort of the chronology before AI comes into the picture so that you can see how detailed it is and then how the AI sort of straddles this very robust, detailed chronology. So that's how PDFs work. Let's take a look at email thread. So we have email threads over here. So I'll just jump over here. I know
Actually,
there's
can I just ask one question
Sure.
just for the audience? That those rows of information, that's all related to a single case, or those are all different cases?
Oh, this is all one case.
That's
This
all
is
one
all,
case, right?
yeah, yeah, this is
And
all.
actually, while we're talking, that line across the top, which people can see, it's like a little bar chart.
Yeah.
What does that signify?
Oh, so this shows you this gives you this serves a few different purposes. So first, it allows you to quickly navigate from through different portions of your chronology. So it also tells you when you had an uptick in activity. So it looks like there was a lot of facts here in August 2022. I can just jump straight to there and it takes me to that portion of the evidence. So it also shows me when there might have been some missing documents. So between December 2021 and August 2022, I seem to have a bit of a lull here. So it might tell me I'm missing some documents. So that's what we call this the piano key timeline.
Gotcha. And also, while you're here as well, the different color coordination on some of them, what does that show? It's like, so we've
So
got purple, we've got sort of gold colors, what green, blue, what do those show?
so I'm actually going to get into that right now because
Oh,
I'm going
right,
to,
perfect.
no, yeah, that was a good segue. So I'm going to show you how email threads get processed. So um, an email thread is, as someone who's worked with them has, will know, dealing with email threads is extremely tedious. So let me just show you an example of two email threads. Can you see these?
Yep.
Okay, so these are two email threads out of the many that I uploaded to Goodfact. So the problem with email threads is that they are often very long and confusing, and the beginning is at the end, right? The first email is at the end, and the end is at the beginning. You have the last email at the top. So reading one email thread is already going to make you crazy because you have to scroll all the way down to the bottom. Now imagine doing this for dozens or thousands of email threads. And the problem is you need to do this work. You need to read them. And even more than that, you really need to isolate individual messages from across many threads to understand how everything came together and to see really who knew what when. If you don't do that work, you might miss critical context. So Goodfact automates that entire process and chops up email threads and puts every individual email in chronological order. The color coding on the left over here tells you that a particular email is part of a thread. So let's look at this email thread right here. So this is a long email thread that started on November 23rd, 2020 and lasted all the way until February 1st, 2021. So, okay, that means, sorry. Okay, that means that this email, if I isolate the thread, I can actually see the November 23rd email up here, and this is the entire thread that has been chopped up. So when I click on the thread ID, it actually shows me just that brown color coding. This is that one thread. When I close out of that thread view, all of those individual emails in that thread have been slotted into the chronology. So I see brown, brown, then I see green, I see a PDF, and then I go back to other colors. So these are all other threads that have been uploaded with their individual emails interlaced into a single story.
Gotcha.
Does that
Actually, and
answer?
the PDFs, they're not color tagged. So that one there, Faith Barry medical tests, that one is connected to the green one, or it's connected to something else.
It's just a PDF that was uploaded separately.
Gotcha.
So essentially, if you look at my files here, you can see these are all of the files that I uploaded. So I uploaded a bunch of emails, and Goodfact will tell me, oh, look, this email thread generated 16 facts over here. I can see the original thread. Here's my email thread. Here's my 16 facts. So if I really need to see how the sausage is made, I can always look into my files page. And those PDFs that I showed you, we're up here. We have some here. We have some down here. So these were actually bookmarked out of a, oops, sorry, let me see. Let's close out of there. Here's an example. Um, 1 second, sorry. Just trying to find you a good PDF example. Okay, so this is what it looks like in the original. And this is Goodfact's fact, which is Goodfact turning this text into, sorry, this image into text. and that's where it gets slotted into the chronology. Um, any other questions about that?
And does it connect to, will it connect the PDF to specific email threads?
So that's a very good question. So if you upload email threads that have attachments, each attachment gets, if it's a PDF attachment, it gets slotted into the chronology automatically where it belongs. So if I had an email, let's say I had a letter attached to the September 1st email, let's say the letter was dated July 1st, 2022, I would see that letter show up somewhere here between June and July. It would just be a PDF right in the middle of my chronology. But then when I clicked on this fact source chain, I would actually see the email to which it's attached. And then I would also see the actual attachment below the email itself. So there's a two-way nexus from the email to the attachment, from the attachment to the email within Goodfact.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Okay, so let's quickly just take a look at what happens when you upload your email thread. So all of if they're native emails in .eml, .msg format, which is what we recommend, all of the parties get picked up automatically. The dates and obviously the date subject and the parties get picked up automatically and get dumped into this parties section right here. Um, and you can actually modify the roles for these people. So let's just add one role here for the CEO. And then this person is always the CEO. So whenever I have Chen Li come up, he's now always the CEO. And when I need to add him, let's say he's on this email, there's Chen Li. I add him and he's always the CEO. So it's a way to keep track of my cast of characters. The next thing to note is that I can modify the text that I see in the summary. So here, the beauty of Goodfact is that it shows you on a very basic level everything in your document. So here I see the verbatim text of this email. I can do a bunch of different things to this. First, I can create an extractive summary, which is me selecting the sentences that matter in that fact. I always see the underlying text there. I can also do a custom summary. So here's my high-level summary of this email. So I save that. Okay. So that's my personal custom summary. I always can still see the underlying text by clicking a button. Now, I'm going to show you in a moment what happens when I unleash the AI over all of this and how that changes this view as well as what it gives you in terms of sort of gaining insight into your chronology. Um, any other questions before I move on?
No, that's good. Well, actually, just one thing, as well as being able to create your own summary, can you add your own notes to this? Can your
Yeah,
own other, you
yeah,
can add other things. Yeah.
yeah. So this is my important comment about this email. So there it is. I have added my comment. Now I can also add tags. So I actually have two pre-populated tags here because when I uploaded my documents here, I had two uploads. I uploaded a bunch of emails related to a contract dispute and I uploaded a bunch of medical records. And I applied tags to both of those uploads. So those tags are there. But let's say I have another one. Say I have a capacity uh, dispute. So I can now choose a color and make this red. And now I have this new tag that I've applied. And let's say this email also relates to capacity dispute. I add that. And let's say this one does too. So just these three are related to capacity dispute. I can now filter by that tag
Mm, mm,
and only see the documents or the facts related to that particular issue that I'm interested in.
mm. Yeah, I can see that's going to be very useful for big search projects like this. Yeah.
Yeah, and when I search through my chronology for terms, uh, all of the text obviously gets searched, but also the PDFs that were OCR'd also get searched, and you can actually it'll show you all of the results with those containing those search terms. Um, so the search works really well. Okay, so there's a lot more to talk about on this view, but let's jump into the AI. So when you go here to explore, we'll do it in two parts. The first part will be me not giving the AI any instructions. I can give it instructions, but we'll start with a completely sort of Wild West AI situation over here. So I'm just going to click Generate Explore, and it's going to tell me its status. So let's give it a bit of time here. So one thing I'll just point out here, we have 447 facts. I uploaded about 100 documents. The reason there's 447 facts is because um, a lot of my documents were multi-fact documents, so email threads that will have, let's say, 5 to 10 to 20 individual emails in them. Each of those individual emails is a fact. Um, so that's how we got so many facts. The other thing I'll note is Goodfact integrates with e-discovery softwares. So if you have, actually, let me go back here. Can navigate away from there, and it's still doing its thing. 1 second. Yeah, okay. So see right here, I have a production doc ID. That's because I uploaded these particular documents using a load file from an e-discovery software that already had doc IDs. Any tags that were generated in that e-discovery software would also be automatically uploaded here. Sorry, displayed. And that's really useful because that means that if you have, let's say, a huge document set of like 100,000 documents, and you use an e-discovery tool for productions, and that tool generated doc IDs for each document. And then you move into discoveries or depositions, and you're now only focusing on, let's say, 10,000 documents. You upload those 10,000 documents here, you can cross-reference between Goodfact's chronology and those productions that you've exchanged with opposing counsel. So you can refer to the same document. And it also allows you to avoid having to duplicate work if all those tags that you created in your e-discovery software will show up right here automatically. Okay, let's go back to Explore and see how it's doing. Okay, it's almost done. So what it's going to do is it's going to summarize every single fact in the chronology, and then it's going to create a high-level overview of the entire case. And it's also going to create summaries of story portions. So it'll allow you to navigate through the entire case really quickly and find the critical facts that you need.
When you say fact, can you just it sounds like an obvious question, but when you say fact, what do you mean by a fact?
Uh, well, in Goodfact's world, it's for PDFs, it's that PDF generating one fact in the chronology, or one, I guess, event. And for multi-fact documents, such as email threads, text messages, it would be individual messages out of those conversations.
Right. So a fact is effectively a discrete item within the collection of information.
Yes. And one thing we're going to be working on this soon is extracting facts from within PDF documents as well. So that's coming.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Okay, so we are done with the AI here. So if we go to the summary, this gives me a high-level overview of 6 years of facts based on the chronology that I showed you a moment ago. Uh, Now this merges the medical records, the email threads, all the PDFs, everything into one jumbled summary. When I click here, it breaks it down into story portions. So I have 4 years over here. This is 4 years of facts summarized. I have 7 months, 9 months, and 2 months. Now, the color coding tells you here when you're dealing with a particularly dense period. So here, basically, each of these middle column chunks or story portions are informed by 10 facts, or I guess, well, in this case, it would be 10 lower level summaries. So here, these 2 months are informed by these 5 days, which, sorry, let's go back here. Okay, so the 2 months, okay, go back. Okay, so now we're looking, we have 4 levels here. So we're starting with the high level summary. Then we go into these 2 months over here. These 2 months are informed by this right-hand column, which is chunks of facts that are even more detailed. So here, these 2 months are informed by a summary of these 5 days, another 5 days, another 5 days, and so on and so forth. When I click on these days, I can actually see the facts that fed into those days. Sorry, here they are. Okay. So the 2 months, the 5 days. Okay. And here's the facts that fed into these 5 days, which fed into these 2 months. So these are the first 5 days of this 2 month period. And here I see the actual fact itself. So I never have to wonder, where did this summary come from? It came from these facts that feed into it, verbatim if I want. So I can actually see the text itself that was informing this summary of 5 days.
Gotcha. I like the way that you can kind of expand and contract the summaries. So you can go sort of very high level summary, medium level summary, super detailed, and even then you can expand further and get into the actual complete text.
Well,
So yeah, there's no, so if you are a little bit paranoid about the summary, you can really, really go and check it if you wish to.
well, you should be paranoid because and it gets stuff wrong. And
Mm.
everyone does that, right? So the beauty of this tool is that I don't have to worry about how I'm going to verify all of these summaries. I just have the underlying facts right here. And so I can sort of confirm what's being said or change things. So that's how I kind of navigate from high level to what we call the needle in the haystack. Like, sorry, let me just go back there. Okay, let's say these 7 months and then these 23 days. And let's say in these 23 days, I find the exact email I need. That took me a couple of minutes of reading. So let's quickly go to the chronology and see what the AI did here. When you click on toggle AI fact summaries, I've now summarized every single fact in my chronology. So this is what you would get from many chronology tools out there right now. So this is sort of the first thing you would get, and sometimes the only thing you would get, which is just the AI summary of the fact. With Goodfact, I don't have to settle for just the AI summary and hope for the best. I can go in and see the underlying text right below the AI summary. Similarly for PDFs. So the medical records were summarized, but I can actually see the underlying medical record whenever I want. And when I go into Explore, I can actually change what I want to see here. Okay, and just to wrap up, what I just did is I told the AI to only focus on facts related to medical records, medical issues, and to ignore anything related to a contractual dispute or contractual negotiations. And it has now generated a new high-level summary that only concerns medical issues. And if you look at the story portions, they also only talk, well, actually, we have one bit that does talk about contractual issues. So this is an example of a real life example of AI not getting something 100%, but you can always see when There's a bit of the contractual stuff seeping in, but I would say the vast majority of the facts here are only related to medical records and medical issues. So there you go. Thank you so much, Richard.
Thank you, Tali. Just a couple of just a very simple, practical questions. If somebody wants to get hold of this, how can they do this?
Um, so they can go to our website,
Mhm.
www.goodfact.com, and they can book a demo, and then we would show them this. If they don't need a demo, they're happy and they'd like to actually get their hands on it, we offer free 7-day pilots.
Gotcha. And last question, just in terms of integrations, because obviously there's going to be a lot of data moving around. What does it integrate with?
So, like I said, it integrates with any e-discovery software by way of load file import.
Gotcha. Fantastic. So yeah, and of course, anyone who's working in a dispute will have that type of software. So
I
makes
would recommend that they do, especially if they have, more than a couple hundred documents. I recommend using an e-discovery software. This Goodfact is not an e-discovery software. We have a lot of respect for e-discovery tools, and we try to work with them to sort of create a one-stop shop for people.
fantastic. Fantastic. Well, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much and good luck and look forward to hearing more about the company. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Richard.